So, what's up, YouTube? Another breakdown video. For those of you new to my channel, let me explain to you how these go. I'm going to go over the breakdown of a trade that I've previously taken. This trade in particular is the trade my most recent trade. It's usually how these go. That's my most recent video. Will probably be my most recent trade, unless I perhaps record the process beforehand of me maybe doing like a live trade. But yeah, so this isn't a live trade video. This is just me going over the chart and what I saw the day of, and just kind of the ideas to highlight my strategy and just how I see the markets, so that you can watch it and just kind of like shadowing someone at a job. I try to just be super transparent with my approach and everything that I do, as if I was trying to show you guys basically what you're going to be doing for the next however long you're going to be working here type deal. But this isn't a job. This is, a lot of us are doing this to get our freedom back. And so I try to be cool, a little nonchalant, laid back with it. I've been stressed out about it, and I can't help nerves, but I've learned to just, I've always been real like self-aware into the meditation, and yeah, I'm not going to say you need to go do that, but you do need to just be able to be aware of yourself, how you feel, and just kind of not act on that. Like, that's not what we're doing here. There's a way about this that you go about it, and it's so many different strategies, so I'm not saying you got to use my strategy. If you're watching my video, if you have questions, I will be happy to answer them. Obviously, I'm going to be going over the charts using my strategy, so it only makes sense like that if you watch my videos, you kind of see me as a mentor. And I mean, you don't have to, but like, I definitely am open to questions and stuff like that if things aren't making sense. But like, my strategy, if anything, isn't nothing but a kind of combination of a bunch of things I've learned over the last 3 years trading. A mix of market structure, multiple time frame analysis, support and resistance, supply and demand, and candlestick kind of confirmations, more or less with the candlesticks. But definitely, I kind of devise my own little thing, so I don't have no name or nothing like that. No ICT concepts, no trend line strategy, but you're going to get a hint of how I look at the markets. I specifically trade YM futures, so if you're here, you're probably interested in futures trading. But trading is trading, and you might not. I've tried my strategy on crypto. I've tried my strategy on Forex. It's given me some results in Forex, hasn't given me. Crypto is super unpredictable. I'm sorry. I would invest in it, but I wouldn't like try to trade it on a day-to-day basis. Too volatile for me personally, unless I like had some insider news, and I think that's illegal. So I didn't just say that. Anyway, no, for real. I do hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope it provides some insight. And again, if you have any questions, you feel free to ask me. That being said, okay, so as you see here, we have our chart pulled up. These are lines I drew for Friday. I didn't end up taking any positions, but I did just kind of leave my levels up just to have it ready for if I do decide to look at it come Monday. Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and hide all these lines right now because none of this was here the day I took this trade that I just accidentally clicked on. I did keep I'll keep the trade position up because that is the specific trade I am going over here today. I might keep the 45 one up too because this specific day was Wednesday. Right here, we were still chugging away to the upside. And so, like I said, I use multiple time frame analysis. As you can see, we're on a 4-hour time frame. This is the time frame I start off to get my trend bias usually, right? This tells me if I'm gonna be looking for buys or sells essentially. And then, so yeah, here we had this. And then when I mark my key levels, I use round numbers to like every 25. So like we have 45,025 is what I called this level. And then we had our lows right down here, call it 44,900, right? Then I'll go to the 15-minute, again, that multiple time frame analysis. So we have a price over here. Now, when was the open? The open was this candle push right up here. So immediately after that open, when we broke above that 45,025 level and created this bullish structure, or continued this bullish structure, I'm looking for a pullback. So what do? I draw up a demand zone. I'd like to mark up any like 15-minute demand zones that I see, or if we were like in a bear market, any 15-minute supply zones that I see, right? So boom, I get this supply zone here, and then just like when I'm marking those highs, lows, and breakup structures, I'm gonna just go ahead and mark this nearest key level right here, this 45,000 flat, right? So coming into the day, that's what we kind of had. I think I came to this market around 850-ish, and I ended up taking my position at like 850 5. So where is this price action? Let's run it back right over here, right? And so as you can see, we're bullish across all time frames, steady breaking structure to the upside. And right here on the 1 minute, I noticed, okay, we break this structure right here. Boom, we pushed up. Then we start trading back down. Now, just like the 15 minute, I like to mark up any recent demand zones on or supply and demand zones, in favor of the trend on the 1 minute. And here we already have a key level that slashed right through this demand zone. And when I came to this market, we were like right pushing back into it. As you can see, I noticed we had made attempts to break out and then go hit this next support level off of this 1 minute demand and didn't make it. So this was kind of a scary trade for me. But so when I looked at the charts, we'll say, yeah, around 850, price was making this kind of push up here. And I think it was the second candle that I was literally, when I seen it tap out of the zone, that's my indication to get in the position. And so essentially, I'm a supply and demand trader, I guess you could say, but hopefully with like what I was saying in the intro, how I use kind of market structure, supply and demand, support and resistance, psychological levels, and all those things as like kind of to build that confluence to what I want to do. And then when I do enter my position, I'm gonna enter it off of one of these supply and demand zone levels. Now I have some rules. If it would have hit that 15-minute supply demand zone, then I would have had to wait, because for it to have done that, in some cases, not in this case, but in some cases, if I'm not mistaken, so for price to had went into this 15-minute, we would have had to break this structure right here, this push up and then this pullback. This was structure on the 1 minute, so we would have had to break that structure. And then if we would have broke that structure before entering any buys off of this level, I would have needed to wait for the 15-minute to close in with a rejection, and then, or I would have needed to wait for a second 15-minute candle to open up and then start pushing out of the demand zone. And also I would need structure on the 1 minute to turn bullish again and start really creating those 1 minute demand zones that I could use as like confluence to get in for the bigger, higher time frame move. But in this case, it was just a lower 1 minute demand that we ended up taking. Like I said, price barely nipped out of it in this one candle, and then I entered my position. Now I already have it marked up, so no need to remark it. But yeah, I kind of got entered basically right there at the top, and then price pulled back and teetered down for a bit. And I was thinking I was going to get stopped out. Now, if you can't tell, I always put my stop loss one tick below the zone, the range, or the demand zone. And then when I enter it, I'm going from that key level that we entered off of in that zone to the next key level. I don't try to take the breaker structure. Sometimes market will, and in this case, will reverse. And I was already hesitant because when we made this high initially, we had this huge engulfing candle. So that's why I say like understanding reading candlesticks and understanding that does help and go a long way. I knew there was a bunch of selling pressure up here. And so I didn't want to take it any further. As a matter of fact, I ended up getting out when we got close. So somewhere like around here in this candle or something like that, I was already out of the position. And that made me, we'll go to my trades here. I want to say what's my most recent trade. Let's look at the days, 11/27, right? So this last trade right here, $400 minus the 580, so like 590 or 394 and some change after the fact. So, and this is on a 50K top step combine. So, that's not too bad. And that's kind of consistently the type of, not even kind of, that's consistently the type of trades I've taken on this account. And so far I've taken 10 trades, I want to say, on this account in 8 days. And we've got the account up $1,700 at the current moment. I've had a withdrawal though of like $900, 888 to be specific. And yeah, that's where we're at with it. Also, I'm currently doing another 50K combine to try and double that income from trading. And we also have our 150K practice account that when we're feeling eager or testy or antsy about trades, and sometimes I'll just flip over to the practice account because I don't want to take any losses, to be honest. I haven't taken any losses on this account, guys. And yeah, that's how I would love to keep it. I can't really control that. All I can do is control my approach and make sure like if it doesn't meet my rules, I don't get into the trade. And when it does, I manage it accordingly. If we get close to TP, a lot of times I'm gonna close that trade. And I'm always gonna set my stop loss. I'm never moving my stop loss, guys. You can't be moving your stop loss. If I take that loss, I'm walking away for the day. It's a manageable loss. 9 times out of 10, the trades I take be like, I can see sometimes they're pushing like, and it's a 1-2, 1-3 setup. Sometimes it's a 1-1, like this trade here that I just presented you guys. Either way it goes, you just gotta, accept the risk along with it. You could always lower your position size and just be okay with how to trade. We don't trade for the outcome, even though I know that sounds counterproductive to, you know, the whole means of it, but you got to be able to manage your risk. You got to be able to take your profit. And at the end of the day, I'm only telling you what's gotten me to where I'm at right now, which is, like you've seen, like, I haven't taken any losses on this account, and that's technically not true. I'm gonna do a video about it. Honestly, I've taken a few losses on this account. I went on tilt, but by the grace of God, the Top Step gods, we're still in this thing, and I haven't made that mistake since. And I've also been fortunate enough to not have taken any losses since. And since then, I think I've been super locked in. But yeah, I'm gonna do a video on it. Definitely, I think that'll be something funny to just look back on, because it's like technically I don't have 100% win rate right now. And if we go to my Top Step dashboard, it'll actually show 90%. But it doesn't have the trades for that day. To kind of summarize it, I don't really trade Mondays. So yeah, I have, we'll go ahead and delete all of this stuff from, that we just did for the video. I think I kept one of these up, right? The highs. I believe it was that high. The rest of these can go. Delete, delete. And now you guys have seen the trade, so that was it. Went with the trend. We were in a buying market. We were above the VWAP, so I felt comfortable taking this 1 minute demand and targeting the last key level we had hit. Even if I would have held it out, that would have been hit like 150 more bucks, but I'm not going to complain. I'm really not. I'm just happy to still be green and to be consistently making an amount that, not to say you can expect things from the market, but just if you have a consistent way you approach the market, you can expect certain things from yourself and your approach. And, if you have a strategy that's going to give you 1-to-1s, 1-to-2s, or whatever, you have to manage it accordingly. You have to be willing to take that 1-to-1. You have to be willing to hold out for that 1-to-2 when the setup, calls for it. So, and like I said, I closed this one early, letting it get close, cool. And closing it, cool, but, in those cases, I would do the same thing. But just closing super early probably isn't in your best interest. And so, my biggest trade was a $600 trade on this account, and it was supposed to be a $900 trade. So I closed that one a little even earlier than I closed this one here. I missed out like on a few $100s. So stuff like that I would like to, but like it was a 1-to-3 setup. Like I was only risking, I think, 250, and to have made what I did, it was super cool. So I was like, I don't really need to push out for too much more. Just like knowing that I got a really good entry, good setup. Stop loss is set, and it wasn't even a lot. But yeah, that's all I have. The bro just pulled up, so I'm finna go enjoy my life, which is why we trade. So good luck to you. Hope to see you in the next one. If you have any questions, comments, leave them in the comment section. And yeah, go follow me on Instagram, TikTok. Hit me up. I'm here for the learning trader, and even myself, and even, maybe one day my family will look back on this and be like, dang, I want to do what Uncle King did. So yeah, anyway, King Trades Futures out.